Hello, welcome English Police here. In this video, I'm going to talk about a different topic. Sometimes as teachers, we wonder what we may be doing wrong that put our students off. For example, normally, just before you enter the classroom, you see that some students take permission to leave the classroom. Sometimes too, you enter the classroom to teach and you find a lot of the students sleeping. Sometimes we wonder whether the fault could be from us or from the students. Even though I believe that sometimes the problem could be from the students, most often than not, we are the main cause of these problems. In this video, I am going to look at 5 things we do as teachers that usually put our students off. If you want to benefit from this video, I want you to watch it throughout, and then don't forget to put your comment below. What are some of your thoughts about this topic that I'm going to talk about? Alright, welcome. So the question is this: what are the things we do that do not make students like our lessons? Let's look at these things. The first thing that we shall look at is not demonstrating mastery over the content of the subject you teach. Yes, if you do not demonstrate mastery over the content of the subject you teach, be it English language, chemistry, physics, clothing and textiles, graphic design, etc., there is no way students are going to enjoy your lessons. So, what are some of the things that we do that demonstrate to the students that we do not have mastery over the content? The first thing is that we usually carry our textbooks and reference materials to the classroom and then teach directly from them, verbatim. And that is one thing that puts students off. They believe that if you could bring a textbook into the classroom and read notes out of them for them to copy, then they could equally go and buy those textbooks and learn them themselves. Yes, that is their psychology. So as a teacher, you should understand the psychology of these students and then beat them to the game. If you take the textbooks, your reference materials to the classroom and you dictate notes from them verbatim, you are not going to make any progress. Another thing we do that shows students that we do not have mastery over the content is skipping some topics in the syllabus. Yes, whether this is deliberate or not deliberate, when you skip subjects or topics or some subtopics in the syllabus, remember that students are going to think that you do not have mastery over those subtopics. They may think that you simply cannot teach them, and that is why you are skipping them. Maybe it could be an oversight, or it could be deliberate. Whichever way, you should make sure that you do not skip these topics, because the moment you skip them, the students are going to notice it. Because nowadays students have access to the syllabus in the soft copy form or in the hard copy form, and they know the kind of topics they are supposed to treat in which semesters or which terms, and which topics to treat when and where. So skipping them and not teaching them those topics will demonstrate to the students that you do not have mastery over the content. Another thing we do that puts students off is that we skip answering some of their basic questions. As teachers, sometimes we try to skip answering certain questions that our students put to us in the classroom. If you are in the habit of skipping these questions, if you are in the habit of not answering questions that are put to you by students, then you are indirectly telling them that you do not have mastery over the content. You see, when you do not answer questions that are posed by students, if you do not answer questions that students put to you, then you are telling the students that you are weak in the content. Sometimes, and just sometimes, you may not have the answer readily. And so in such situations, you have to devise a clever way of postponing the answer. But then remember not to forget teaching the students the answer to that question. If you forget or if you deliberately ignore that, it is going to go against you. Again, sometimes we verify answers from textbooks. I'm not saying don't verify answers from textbooks, but before you verify answers from textbooks, make sure you have first answered the questions. And that is why before you go to the classroom, you must prepare adequately. Get all the questions you're going to give the students and then their answer keys, so that if there is any question in the classroom that you're going to answer, you would not go and refer to the answer from a textbook before you tell the students what the answer is. If you do that, the students are going to think that you do not have mastery over the content. The next thing you should never do as a teacher is never verbally abuse your students. Yes, never verbally abuse your students in the classroom or elsewhere. No matter the provocation, no matter the anger, never do that. You see, as a professional teacher, when you open your mouth and what comes out is foul language, invectives, curses, the students are not going to take you seriously. The students are not going to respect you. The students will not give you that respect that is supposed to be given to any teacher. As teachers, when we are teaching and we use insults, the least provocation you insult your students, the least mistake you insult them. You fool, you stupid boy, you idiot. That is why you don't know anything. You are good for nothing. It will not augur well for you in life. You suffer. You'll be like this, you'll be like that. And then we compare them with losers in the society. If you keep doing this, students are not going to like you and your lessons. So as a professional teacher, this is one thing that you should never do. Never insult your students. Don't curse them. Don't use foul language when you're teaching. And if you do this, students are going to like your lesson and take you seriously. The next thing that you should not do as a teacher is that you should not be lazy at work. Yes, sloppiness can sometimes be detrimental to your professional career. As a teacher, never be lazy. How do we show our students that as teachers we are lazy? 1, we do not go to class regularly. 2, we do not go to class punctually, that is on time. 3, we do not give assignment, project work, class exercises, class tests, etc. And 4, even when we give assignment, project, tests, exercises, we do not mark them. And again, even if we mark them, we do not mark them on time. Sometimes you will find exercise books loitering around, sitting on the desk, ready for marking, but then they don't get marked. And students keep anticipating these exercise books. And so if you give them exercises and you do not mark, or you give them exercises but you mark, but not mark on time, you see, marking on time is very important. If you do not mark the exercise books on time, the students are going to form it in their minds that this is a lazy teacher. So whenever you give any assignment, project, and something crops up and you cannot mark on time, kindly go to the classroom and tell the students that they should expect their exercise books this time because of this and that reasons. By doing so, the students may not think that you are a lazy teacher, but rather believe that something has prevented you from marking the exercise books on time. But remember not to make this repetitive, otherwise they are going to form the same opinion that this teacher is lazy. The next thing we are going to look at is this: do not discourage your students. Yes, do not discourage your students. This is very important because as teachers, we are not just teachers, but we are also mentors, we are also role models, and we are counselors. So as a teacher, when you enter the classroom, All that should come out of your mouth should be encouragement. It should be motivation. It should be good tidings. Yes, good news should come out of your mouth. When you open your mouth and it is curses, insults, and demotivating words, the students are not going to enjoy your lesson. In fact, they are going to hate you. So, as a teacher, remember that you are a mentor and a role model. And so, always motivate the students. The weak ones, encourage them. Tell them that if they do well, if they sit up, they are going to do well. Those who are very good, tell them that there is no limit to their imagination, there is no limit to their prowess, and so they should keep aspiring for good things. The sky is not even the limit. Encourage your students, motivate your students, give them encouraging words when they are discouraged. Inspire them to be who they want to be. Inspire them so that nothing will be a limit to them. If you fail to do this as a teacher, students are not going to like you, no matter how you feel about it. Another thing you should not do as a teacher is this: never dress shabbily to the workplace or to the classroom. Yes, dressing is very important to you as a teacher. The way you dress to school, to the classroom, to the work environment is very important. You know, students observe us every day. They observe the way we walk, the way we talk, the way we eat, the way we do our things. Remember, I said earlier that we are role models. The way you dress must exude confidence in your lesson delivery. So if you do not dress decently, if you are shabbily dressed, if you look unkempt, then remember that you are not going to instill any confidence in the lesson that you are delivering to the students. In other words, students are not going to take your lessons seriously, because as teachers, we are role models, and the way we dress influences the way we teach in the classroom. The students observe this. What should you do then as a teacher? Make sure that you do not combine more than 3 colors in your dress: red, yellow, pink, green, etc. No, it is going to distract the students from following what you are teaching. Again, you should make sure that you do not wear any tattered clothes to the classroom. Make sure that there is no part of the dress that is torn. If it is torn, make sure you mend it, because when the students see this, they are going to be distracted by that, because they'll be discussing that in the classroom even after you have left. Make sure you do not wear any clothes that have faded. If you are wearing shoes, you make sure that the soles of the shoes have not worn out before you enter the classroom. You should make sure that you have groomed yourself very well. You shave your mustache nicely, you shave your beard nicely, so that you always look decent and appeal to the students. Again, you should make sure that you smell good. Remember, as a teacher, students will come around you all the time. They would come to you to ask you questions. They would come to you for discussions. You will talk to them. You will interact with them. And so if you do not smell good, the students are going to be put off. It is as simple as that. If you do not smell good, the students are not going to come around you in order to ask you questions or have their questions explained to them. So smell good. Wear nice perfumes. I'm not saying go and buy expensive perfumes, but make sure you put on perfumes that are nice, not the ones that will also put students off, because some perfumes have pungent scents that usually put people off. Again, we should make sure that when we wear dresses to the classroom, there are no inscriptions in them. Even if there is an inscription in the dress you are wearing, make sure that inscription has a direct bearing on the lesson that you are going to deliver. If it has nothing to do with the lesson you are going to deliver, then that dress should not be worn. Moreover, as teachers, we should look clean. Yes, our fingernails should look clean all the time. This is something that sometimes we take for granted, but the children observe us. As we put our fingers on the whiteboard to write, they check all these things. As we mark in their exercise books, they check all those things. So if you do not have a clean fingernails, it is not going to show to the students that you are a clean teacher. How again do we demonstrate that we are clean teachers? By making sure that when we mark their exercise books and we give them the books, there is nothing that has soiled the books. If it is food that we have eaten, drinks, oil, etc., we should make sure that we do not soil the books that the students have given us. If we soil their books with oils, drinks, etc., they are going to see us as teachers who are not clean, and this is not going to augur well for our professional career. So in conclusion, these are the 5 things not to do as a teacher. Number 1, never show a weakness over the content of the subject you teach. Number 2, you should never use foul language in the classroom or in your work environment. Number 3, never show laziness at work. Number 4, never discourage your students or never demotivate your students. And number 5, never dress indecently to the workplace or to the classroom. Alright, so these are the 5 things that you should never do as a teacher. If there is something that I did not talk about, you can put it in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, then I am entreating you to subscribe to my channel below so that you can have more of these exciting videos. I look forward to seeing you improve your lesson delivery in the classroom this year and beyond. Stay blessed.